Hello there and welcome back to Satisfactory. Yes, we're back on Satisfactory once again, going to be continuing our single player playthrough on 1.1. So, if you weren't here last time, we got gotten quite a bit work done on the high-speed connector factory. Got most of the machines in place, got a lot of the walkways in place and stuff like that, got most of it belted and powered. So today's plan is to go back in and finish the belting of the output for those high-speed connectors so we can get them uploaded, as well as getting a lot of the blueprints done so that we can get the sides on and the front and back so we can close up this factory and move on to the next one. So let's go ahead and get on into it. Let's go. Alrighty then, and here we are. So yeah, we got some work ahead of us today, as usual, as per our usual, of course. This is what we done last time, which looks fairly good. So yeah, I got some news to share with you all as well about the state of the PC. So we will be, it's gonna be interesting. We'll figure something out, but yeah. This is what we got to, though. We got pretty much all the lights done and stuff, so we just need to do the blueprints on the sides, which shouldn't be too hard. I'm just going to continue with this theme. What we'll do is we'll continue these slots downwards. These are where the machines are at. I do like this light bar style. Now, I might have to pull in some beams here, because obviously the blueprint's already in place. We can't really redo those. So we'll just add the beam connectors in by hand, just to kind of tie this off. Because I like them in these little sections. They look like light bars. It's actually pretty cool looking. So, and then of course in here we've got the output belts to get done as well. We're gonna pull the output belts through here into this little area, which is these observation rooms. These little observation rooms observe the high-speed connectors going through. We're going to do something similar with the supercomputers as well. I love the sound in here. That's so cool. You can hear the sound of the train bouncing off the walls. That is actually pretty cool. I like it. It is very satisfactory, we'll say. But yeah, so the belts are going to pop out of the floor with the little belt lift, and then they're going to go across this little table and then go back down underneath. And I really do like the way those turned out. I think they look great. But this factory is very, very expensive as far as quartz crystal. I really need to up the quartz crystal factory's upload rate, because or not upload rate, but production rate and upload rate, we'll say. Yeah, that's just one of those things. Hello, Flying Manta Ray. What are you doing this fine evening? Flying around, ruining all my factory plans. All right. Yeah, we still have circuit boards trying to come in and stuff like that, which shouldn't actually be too bad, considering we overwhelm the system. So, I love the belts. Look like the belts are going so fast; they look like they're going backwards. I don't know if the game is enhancing that effect or not, or if the belts are really running, or if the lifts are really running backwards. But yeah, the circuit boards are used so little, which is good. So yeah, these machines are filling up with high-speed connectors, so we need to get these belted down to the train, get everything working there. Okay, so the news about the PC. We'll get right into that one. So I went digging and found out exactly what CPUs my freaking old motherboard supports. My damn near 13-year-old motherboard. And unfortunately, I've got the highest CPU. I knew this information apparently because I bought the highest CPU when I went shopping for them, years ago. And yeah, the highest CPU that I have now, or the CPU that I have now, is the highest my motherboard supports. The i7-4790K. So that is a little bit unfortunate. The only way to get better, as far as performance and stuff like that, is going to have to be essentially getting a new PC. Because once you replace the motherboard, if you go to a newer motherboard, you're going to have to replace everything. This includes, well, not everything, but you're going to have to replace the motherboard, the CPU's got to go out, the CPU's got to go, and the whatchamacallit, the RAM as well. The RAM has to go as well, because the RAM is, for my PC, is DDR3, and DDR3 is pretty old. I mean, what are they up to now? Like DDR6 or 7 or 100? Maybe they're up to DDR 100 by now. Good lord. Yeah, so we're definitely gonna have to swap out the motherboard, which definitely is not gonna happen anytime soon. So we're gonna be stuck with this PC for quite a while longer. So that is the way it is. I thought I could go up to an i9. I thought I had looked that up, and I was eventually going to purchase a cheap i9 that I could find. But yeah, unfortunately, that is the highest CPU. So the CPU that I have now is the highest CPU I can support. Which, now that I, looked at that, I went, oh yeah, I did buy the highest CPU I could afford. Or not afford, but the highest CPU that the motherboard could support. Which, oddly enough, was the one I could afford. So it was at the time, it was years ago. So anyway, we're not going to get any work done today. So if we keep chatting around. So basically, what I need to do first, I think, is I need to get the ceiling lights in place above the train station, so I know where these are at, and then we can work on getting those belts in place for those little observation rooms, and then get it belted down here, because I want to try and get this factory done today. I'm not going to say it's going to happen, but I'm definitely going to say I'm going to try. So, or we're definitely going to try to get this factory done today. So yeah, let me get these lights in place, and then we'll get the belt work done. Ah, I'm about to be ran over. And now we're good. As long as I was leading backwards, avoiding the train. All right, get these in place here. Alrighty then. Finally got everything. I decided to just go ahead and finish the belts because it wasn't that far off. So yeah, we've got everything belted when it comes to the high-speed connectors, and all of our machines are running now. Remember, we are only building, what, 10 a minute? I haven't even marked it yet. Yeah, we're not building very many. Sorry, 24 per minute. My bad. 24 per minute. We're only doing 24 per minute, so yeah, we're pretty we're doing okay though for 24 per minute. So now every time high-speed connectors go by here, I should have put this on Mark 1 belts, but the reason that I haven't yet, that I haven't been like mixing belts or anything like that, even for decor, is because once we get to Mark 6, we're going to be unlocking the Mark 6 belt. Now, here's the reason for that. Unlocking the Mark 6 belt, what I'll do is I'll go around and start upgrading all of the factories to Mark 6 belts, essentially. Just anywhere we need them. What I want to do first is I want to upgrade every single belt to Mark 6, and then we can go back in and downgrade, things like this for decoration to like Mark 1 or whatever. And the reason that I want to do it that way is because when you're upgrading upgrading a game that's this size, a world that's this size, is because what you can do is you can load it up into Satisfactory calculator, and then you can see how many kilometers or whatever that you have of each type of belt. Same with the piping and everything else. And same with the Mark II, Mark III, more Mark 1, Mark II, Mark III miners, and just everything pretty much on the map. So what I want to do is I want to make sure that I upgrade every single belt to Mark 6, and then we load it up and go, okay, how much do I have left? And then what I can do is I can toggle all the different the map layers and figure that out. So that's pretty much the reason why I haven't done that, is because I don't want to. I mean, I'll probably end up remembering it, but I don't want to come in and be like, oh, now I've got all these belts. And and then I have to go back in, or I'm gonna have to go back in. So that's pretty much the reason for that. But other than that, I'm fine with having these as Mark 1 belts. Just not until after we get everything else upgraded to Mark 6. Because yeah, we're gonna have to go in and upgrade everything to Mark 6, and it's gonna take a lot of resources and stuff like that. So anyway, that's pretty much that pretty much gets the factory done though. I even got the belt going all the way up. This is kind of, you know, there's nothing really to this. I just put a belt along here for our sink. However, I have turned this sink off. Would it get us a lot of tickets? Yes. Well, maybe not anymore, but would it get us tickets? Yes. But unfortunately, at the moment, I need to start turning off factories so that it's a little easier on the CPU. Because CPU, part of the CPU's job for this game is calculating different factories and what they're producing and what they're, you know, what they're making and what they're not making. But what's cool though is we do have high-speed connectors being uploaded. So yeah, what I need to do is I need to go through all my factories and start turning off any sinks that I have, so that the factories back up, essentially. I'm still keeping track, obviously, of what factories are outputting and what factories are what factory needs, what each factory needs and stuff like that. I'm still going to be keeping that job going. Did this factory ever get installed with a sink? Yes, it did. Okay. So yeah, what I'm going to do, we're not quite there yet. We're still making, but I'm going to go ahead and go to this sink here, and I'm just going to flip this one off. And as you can see, we got 536 tickets in there. That's not bad. I mean, I have more in storage. I have a full dimensional depot. Well, I say the full dimensional depot. I have a full 5 stacks of tickets, and then some over at the mall, essentially. Because what I do usually at the end of the week is I'll go through and I'll take the tickets, whatever tickets we've earned just about. I mean, I haven't done it for a few weeks, that's why we've got so many, but what I'll usually do is I'll take those tickets over to the mall, put them in a storage box that I've got. I got a storage box for that, which goes into an uploader, so that way they're not in my inventory and they're in a storage, because we filled up the dimensional depot a while ago, and I just started carrying around a bunch of tickets, and I didn't want to carry those on my person, taking up inventory slots. So like I said, usually what I'll do is I'll take them up to the mall at the end of the week. Like those 500, we'll take that up to the mall at the end of the week, and then put them into the dimensional depot so that they can get so they can stay on the upload side, so whenever I need tickets for whatever, I have them available and I don't have to have them in my inventory. But anyway, that's pretty much all that. So next thing we're going to be working on is getting the blueprints done for the sides and the front and the back. So the front and the back are going to be a little bit interesting. I don't exactly know how I want to do it, but I do know what I want to do for the most part. Now what I could do is let's do a solid wall up to here, like this. So we do a solid wall like this here, right? And then maybe we do like an interesting window on there. So we do a window, but then we make it interesting, of course. And I think we can do that roughly by, let's make these concrete. I always like to use the big bay windows. We could do a full glass. I don't like the full glass ones though. Now, if the full glass didn't have the edges it did, then I'd absolutely do that, because then it's easier to make that look better when it's a full. But I also like I like these full windows. These look good. Okay. And then what we can do is we can take this here, rotate it this way. We can do that. Then take this window here. Do that. Right. And then we do an inverted. Now what I'm gonna have to do is I'm gonna put this down here. And you'll see why in a minute. I just zooped that into the ground, didn't I? Oops. Yeah, so I can paint this. Because if you don't paint this before, there's a good chance you might not be able to. I've had it happen. So yeah, that. I'm also gonna put one here to kind of tie that in. Okay, yeah, that's looking okay. And then, yeah, then we grab these. Of course, we invert it. So yeah, something like that. I know it's kind of boring, but it is what it is. Yeah, something like that. That's actually kind of interesting. Got a very interesting shape. We could do the 2 meter as well, but we're kind of out of space. Actually, no, we're not. Yeah, we can do that. But what I'll do there is I'll do a solid. I might not be able to. Yeah, I forgot that happens. Oh, that'd be so cool, but I can't do it. Is there any way I can make that work? Because it recognizes the... It's like you can't put a full wall over a window either. Which is really annoying. I actually don't know how to make that work. I usually don't do these types of windows anyway. Okay, what we might do... I like that shape, but what I might do is I might just remove this. That way we can just do it that way. And then maybe what we can do from there... No. That didn't work like I wanted it to. I think I might just leave it. Yeah, might just leave it. Alright, but to even it out, though, what I want to do is I want to do one of these. Put it like that. Dang it. I hate when it does that. It's like, no, I did not intend for it to zoom. Of course, the game doesn't know that, you know. The game does not know that I didn't want it to zoom. Don't zoom. There we go. But yeah, then that ties that together. Yeah. Okay, I can accept that. Yeah, I can definitely accept that. And what we'll do is we'll pull the beams around it as well. So these three beams will end there, and then we'll pull a beam up and around that corner, just kind of tie in the window so it's not so flat. And then yeah, for the rest of this, it's going to be like these triple beams, and then this little thing right here. So this right here, this is actually pretty easy to do, to make this work. And I'll show you exactly how we're going to do it. I will need to pull some power from a train over here. There we go. That way we can have some power out here to be able to fly. Go special. The Mark II blueprinter will lag the crap out of our PC because the CPU absolutely gets blasted when I use the blueprinter in areas like this. It just goes nuts. And if you haven't heard, yes, I did have to, in order to keep my PC from crashing, I did have to up the item limit. I upped it to 500,000. Because I kept crashing with it. It's like I did have to up that, unfortunately. So, I mean, you can still build stuff in the world. It just, when you get so much stuff cluttered together, it crashes it. Because the world's too crazy. And then we're going to do high, yeah, there it is, high-speed connector. Factory 1, which is the first blueprint we built. This one didn't get as many blueprints. What I wish I could do, though, is I wish I could get rid of the blueprint information within the game. I think that would definitely, help with it. And what I mean by that is it would, jeez, it's laggy as hell. What I mean by that is it would definitely help with the game's ability to load and stuff like that, because all that information gets loaded. I mean, all the blueprints that I've built months ago within the world, that information still exists as a blueprint and an item. So you got two different things. And I think, like, I don't know programming or anything like that, but I think what could be nice is a way to clear that. Because you can clear the blueprints all you want. I can take all the blueprints out of my blueprints folder, but that doesn't mean those things in my world are now not blueprints. They're still blueprints. There's still a blueprint, but the game doesn't know what the blueprint name is or the information behind it. So it's like you can still select it as a blueprint, but you can't copy it, put it back down, because the blueprint information, most of the blueprint information is gone, but it still exists. So what I wish I could do is I wish I could clear the blueprints, like, I guess you could call it a cache, essentially. That'd be the easiest way to explain it, even though that's not the correct term or anything like that. But it's like, yeah, I would like to be able to clear that. And yes, I understand that by doing that, those blueprints that I placed in the world would not be able to be deleted as blueprints anymore. But I think that could be a good thing for games like mine that are very blueprint heavy. I guess the other fix is to just not go blueprint heavy. Not build insane like I do, but I love to build. I do love to build. It's very nice. I can bring my creations to life in this game. So any creations that I've ever come up with in my head, I can definitely bring them to life in this game in some form or another. I mean, it may not always work out, but it's been a lot of fun. I've definitely enjoyed. Definitely, this season is definitely the best season I think has ever been. The city build was fun, but I did not have the experience to make that city build truly what it was, or what I had in my head and what it needed to be. I did not have I did not possess the skills to pay those bills, if you know what I mean. Like, we don't know what you mean. Oh, okay. I don't either. But yeah, it was season 2. That was, man, I didn't know anything about the game hardly. I mean, I had completed the game before season 2. I had completed Satisfactory, but I did not have the wherewithal to do that. Plus, season 2 was kind of fun. Although it was kind of, I don't know what to call it. It was interesting because we had 2 rules on season 2. We had 2 rules. That was me and my buddy Curtis. That was a lot of fun. Just reminiscent memories now. But yeah, he was. See, the way there was 2 different rule sets. One of them. One rule per person, essentially, and it pertained to our build styles. So I always like to build, I always like to build a lot of stuff. I like to build and mold and shape and then go and delete and stuff like that. The deletion key was banned during season 2. No one could delete anything. It was just not, it was not allowed. You were not allowed to delete anything. Once it was placed, it was not allowed to be deleted. Even if it was accidental, even if it screwed up, even if it screws up your entire factory, it's not allowed to be deleted. You gotta figure out a way to to make that work, which was amazing. That was one of the coolest rule sets. The other rule set was for Curtis. He liked to, he was the chaos builder. He liked to build everything in as tight a space as possible, overlapping the whatever the game would allow. He would do. He would pull belts through machines. He'd pull belts through the ground. He would, essentially put down cables and just spider webbing everywhere and stuff like that. And I said, okay, well, we got the one rule set. What should be our other rule set? And we discussed it. And I said, here's a good rule set for you. No soft clipping. How about that? You're not allowed to soft clip unless there's a bug. That's the only time you're allowed to soft clip, is if it's not intended by the developers. And there was a couple situations where you go to put down belts, like on a belt stacker or from a belt lift into into another connection or just of some type like that, and it would say you were soft clipping or it says you were clipping even though that wasn't true. I think the bug has been mostly fixed. It's not 100% fixed, I know that, but yeah, that was the only exception to the rule. But yeah, no soft clipping. So he had to build sensibly for the most part. he couldn't go too crazy with it. It was a lot of fun though. But I'd say season 1 was probably one of the most interesting because I'd never played the game before I started doing season 1. I never actually played the game, so I had no idea what to expect. I remember thinking one of the power slugs, I was like, because I was being killed by everything, obviously. Well, not being killed, but I was being attacked by everything on the planet. Obviously, you got all these aliens and stuff you're being attacked by. There was no, that was update 5. There was no passive mode or retaliation mode or anything like that. Just what the game was, the combat was pretty much forced. Because you can't turn the creatures off or anything like that. It just, what the game was is what it was, and yeah, I was being attacked by everything, so I come up to a power slug, and I went, "Is this thing gonna kill me? If I go up and poke it with a stick?" I remember feeling so dumb after that. It was so much fun, and then I ended up doing like 3 games of Satisfactory all at the same time. We had the YouTube series. And then I had a game that I was doing by myself where I was just kind of experimenting with doing stuff, just trying to figure the game out essentially. And then I had the little multiplayer game that I was doing with Curtis as well. I was playing the game with him for a little bit there. Yeah, it was very interesting, we'll say. Alrighty. Very good. Okay, so now basically I'll show you exactly what I'm going to do here. I'm going to remove this top portion because we don't need it. Obviously that was for the, and then yeah, we don't need these beam connectors either. See, when we go to put these together, I don't want them to overlap, so we may have to do that. I don't really like doing that, but it's the only way that makes work. That's the only way it makes sense. And then yeah, what we'll do is we'll remove this. I'm going to remove this one specifically. drag that one down like that. Let's see if I can remove this other beam here. No, I might have to just remove it entirely. Okay. Yep, and then what we're going to do is we're going to take this. I'm going to go across here. Like that. This is the portion that's going to overlap. And then... yeah, we'll take it from there, go into freeform mode. I knew this was the portion that was going to take up most of the episode. Is getting this completed. Oh, autosave. Come on. There we go. Oh, that's right. We don't do it like that. We do it like this. Sorry, I got a little bit nostalgic on everybody there. I don't know. It was a lot of fun. Now I've definitely, out of the damn near 4,000 hours I have in this game, this is definitely one of my favorites. And I don't think I'll ever top this game when it with another game. I think this game will always be one of the best games I've ever played. That's the reason I put so many hours into it as well. There's nothing out there I've been able to put this many hours into and be happy with, if that makes sense. No other game can do what Satisfactory has done for me. And no other game will. I don't think unless there's some other factory game that I can put thousands of hours into and base my channel around. I think Satisfactory is definitely going to be number one all the time. I mean, heck, I've already got season 5 planned, and what we're going to do with it. So if that tells you anything. Yeah, I think we'll overlap these a little bit. Okay, but yeah, what I wanted to do was this here. And then pull it out. That's how I did those others. Just like this. And essentially what I'm going to do is I'm going to do this the same, essentially the same way. Oops. And the reason I'm putting the beam connector in the middle and then popping another one out is because you'll be able to see you'll be able to see these colored beams on the inside of the wall as well. So I wanted to have a break there as well, so it's not just a green stripe completely all the way across, if that makes any sense. Oops, not intentional. Okay, yeah, pop. Oh, we've already done that one. Pop that one out. Okay. So then what we do is we save this as number 3. Right? Number 3. Save blueprint. And then we go into blueprints. And I need to know how many, it's 6 foundations, or 6 walls, isn't it? How many walls do I need to go high here? Because this foundation is going to be the stopper. Okay, so it's 6 foundations, all right. Or 6 walls, sorry. Well, 6 foundations too, I suppose. Okay, so we need 3 of these. blueprint, and we're going to take this blueprint and we're going to put it into blueprint mode. Now, the blueprints do not want to snap together nicely, do they? Yeah, we'll have a little bit of an overlap. Actually, maybe we don't need the overlap. Yeah, I'm looking at it, and it looks like the two beams going up. Yeah, okay. Yeah, we don't need this. Alright, we'll resave it then. Resave. I don't know why the blueprint is off. Is there something I missed removing? Because it should snap together perfectly. Oh, I'm stupid because that's not a blueprint that I'm trying to snap to. Sorry. That's not a blueprint. Oh boy. What is wrong with me? I do not know. It's like, nope, I'm just stupid, that's all. Which, we knew this already. Now we can put it into blueprint mode and it'll snap up to the top perfectly. I mean, I'll have to notch it down, but I'm waiting for this to build first. Okay, and then that should perfectly snap because the bottom rail on this one is missing. So that bottom rail gets added by this blueprint. So yeah, that's essentially going to be the run. And then what I'm going to do is, like I said, I'm going to take the other blueprint, which is this middle one, and I'm going to do the same thing. I'm just going to stack the blueprints up on top of each other. And then we're going to save this as, I'm actually going to save this as 4, so I have a smaller version. It's 500. 504 quartz. Good lord. But yeah, so then we'll put all those blueprints on the side, and then we'll get the other end done, and that should be this factory completed. Alrighty then, so finally got the end caps done, as well as the side, what do you call them, side blueprints. Yeah, I think this is good for an end cap. I know it's not all that interesting really, but at the same time I'm just like, meh. I mean, if it's, I ended up getting rid of the central port of the portion of the window. It was okay. It just, since I couldn't connect it in the middle, I just didn't like it. So I just kind of removed it. I'll remove these blocks too. But then, yeah, I needed to cap this off as well to kind of match the sides of the building. But yeah, we've got the sides in place. We got the big ol', I wonder if we can fit the gate in there. I think the gate's too small, actually. Yeah, the gate for these is just way too small. Yeah, you can see it would clip. Definitely. If they made the gate a full foundation wider, I think it would be a much better thing. I mean, mainly these gates are for single use on a train anyway, but that's okay. We'll leave that open. Oh, I forgot I was going to put foundations down. Yeah, I'll do that later. What I'll do is I'll just take a foundation and just, or half foundation. We'll color it and then we'll pull it down, and call it a day. I'll do that in a little bit. But, yeah, unfortunately we are out of time today for this episode, which is good because we just got the factory done. As you can see, you got the entire side going along here. It's a little laggy, of course, as usual. And all the factories are working right now because they're filling up the train station, which looks rather good. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with this factory. I'm happy to call this one a day and move on to the next. So next time, which will be Saturday, because I know today was supposed to be yesterday. I know that happened. It's like, yeah, it's one of those things. Did I put beams across on this side? I did. Okay. So next time what we're going to be doing is actually building up the rest of the the rest of the grasslands loop. We need to finish the grasslands loop so that we can move on to the next set of factories, which is going to be AI limiters. That'll be the immediate next factory, which will probably be sitting roughly right around here on this hill, that hillside right there, because we do need to go up with probably need to go up, get up and over this hillside here. But yeah, we're going to go off that way and go around to those cliffs and then make our way back over here. I'm going to end up crossing over the top of this little archway land that you can see here, that little land archway there. We'll cross over the top of that probably, and then reconnect back over there, where we will be working on that probably for the next couple of episodes, because it did take us a couple of episodes to do the shorter span. Now we got to do the longer span, which is a little bit more difficult. So that might take us a couple episodes. That'll take us into next week though, and we can get that done. But then once we get that done, then we can go back to make factories like AI limiters, and then the next thing we need to do is probably supercomputers. I'm not really sure. What else does supercomputers need? They need AI limiters. I mean, we could do the super state computer, but that's another 2 factories. Okay, so we need AI limiters for sure. That's going to be our absolute next one. But then we need the battery factory is going to be kind of we need these radio control units, because we can make radio control. Oh no, we can't. I mean, we can if we do this one, if we do the radio connection unit, which I was thinking about doing. I actually think I think I got that in the plan to make that one. So I'm definitely not doing this one, I can tell you that much. We've already used up most of our casings anyway. I think I might do the radio connection unit. I think that might be the best one. And then used in the turbo motor, obviously the pressure conversion cube, which that's the only recipe that I know of. But we're already set up and ready for that. So so AI units, radio control units, crystal oscillators, and supercomputers, as well as maybe electromagnetic control rods. We need to find a place for those as well, so that we can make the other stuff. And then then we'll be working into the even more advanced factories like turbo motors and things like that for the phase 4 products, because I want to get all the prerequisites for the phase 4 products before we move into making phase 4. I mean, unless we get the supercomputers done, then we can get on to making the assembly directory systems. The other factories still need a lot of other stuff, but supercomputers, I believe, is the last one for that. Electromagnetic control rods for the magnetic field generators, turbo motors for the rockets, thermal propulsion rockets. Thermal propulsion rockets, right? Yeah. And then, of course, pressure conversion cubes for the stuff. So we're getting close. We're definitely getting very, very close to this factory, or to this phase 4 being done. And then once phase 4 is being done, we need to find a new place to make factories, because the grasslands is going to be completely full. And like I said, I did want to build all the electronic factories out here, which we are doing. So a lot of the factories are very long, but that's because I'm including the train stations in all the factories. So it's just one of those things. But anyway, I do believe that is going to be it for this episode of Satisfactory. Like I said, we are out of time. So next time we'll be finishing up the grasslands loop. I want to get it completed so then we can just focus on factories from there. Which will be AI limiters and radio control units, crystal oscillators, supercomputers as well. Those kind of things. Let's go ahead and clear that. There we go. And then we can pick this up. We'll get a lot of stuff, but we'll end up using it, of course. It seems like when there's a There's a lot more lag when there's a blueprint or a blueprinter in the area. But yeah, that's just one of them things. But anyway, like I said, that is going to be it. So I do hope you enjoyed. Oh, and before you go, I'd like to give a huge shout out and thank you to all of the investors you can see on your screen right now. Seriously, thank you. You guys are awesome. It is much appreciated. And until next time, I guess it's a goodbye.